Shark Week lacks diversity and overrepresents men named Mike. Scientists say I am Mecca, and we're going to talk about this one.
The following video is brought to you through the generous support of viewers like you. If you like this content, then please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. And for those who are in the position to donate, this channel thanks you. And so does this orange cat.
Shark Week. This is a real article. I thought this was a fake article. I thought this was a fakey fake, wokier than thou, troll article. I thought it was April 1st. Please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the like button. Please comment down below. And normally I'm on camera. This is the first thing in the morning article, and you do not want to see me at 11 a.m., 10 a.m. without my makeup. Maybe you do. I don't know. This is a better image, trust me. Why do we care who is delivering us messages? Researchers say Discovery's programming is overwhelmingly featured with white male experts while emphasizing negative messages about sharks. Do you want people to go and pet them? Do you want people to go and swim with them, going up and giving them a great big hug? And sharks are not dolphins. They are not going to have their way with you other than having you for dinner. Sharks are not pets. Sharks are something you kind of want to avoid because they're just food machines. They just want to eat. They're like my cat.
Meow.
They just want to eat. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. But no, you go right ahead. You give them a nice little pet on the head. All you want. Don't do that for realsies. If you do, you might end up like these people.
Coming soon to Animal Planet. What happens when you take the Summer of Love's fiery but mostly peaceful protesters and you combine them with shark interactions? You get one wacky petting zoo reality TV show mashup that you don't want to miss. Don't miss Autonomous Zone Petting Zoo, the only reality series where the sharks pet you. Coming to Animal Planet.
Seriously, in all of my days, of all of the dumb things, we're upset that white male experts emphasize negative messages about sharks and their own name Mike. Is this really what this is what the Washington Post is writing? This is what they care about. This is why people think that there's some grand scheme to hide evidence. I was like, no. Why? Because I clicked on this one too. I'm guilty of it. I clicked on this before I click on anybody's laptop story because this is more interesting. I am more fascinated why Daniel Wu, whoever the crap Daniel Wu is, what kind of image do we have on you, Daniel Wu? Washington, D.C., Metro reporting intern. You're an intern. You went to Stanford University and you have a BA in history and an MA in communications, and you are writing articles like this at the Washington Post for more money than you're worth. Daniel Wu, you're not worth this if you're writing this kind of garbage clickbait. Who does it hurt that men named Mike, who happen to be white, are telling you that sharks might be dangerous? Who does that hurt? Nobody. In fact, it saves people. Is that the point? Is depopulation real? So much to the point where they're saying, no, go pet the sharks. Please do, if that's the case. Lisa Whiteneck loved sharks as a kid. She spent rainy days leafing through a guide to sharks in Reader's Digest. Every summer, she would watch Shark Week on Discovery's annual TV event that spotlight the ocean's predator with 7 days of dedicated programming. Well, there's your problem right there. You're obsessing with sharks because of Discovery's Shark Week. Yeah, they're cool enough, I suppose, if you're a little kid. Sure. When I was a kid, Discovery Channel wasn't a thing. We barely had cable television when I was a kid, I'm so old. But when scientists appeared on screen, she rarely saw any women she could look up to. Well, go watch some real sciencey things. Go watch some NASA stuff. But then again, NASA was infiltrated by World War II bad guys, so, I mean, that's literally who they brought in to complete a lot of the space race stuff from the 60s. So is that tainted now? Are we canceling NASA because of who they hired? I mean, those people that Kanye West seems to love. Why?
I love Jewish people, but I also love...
When I I know I could do that. I didn't come from a family of scientists. I didn't see very many people that looked like me on television. Guess what? I never did either. And you know what? I'm doing a job that didn't exist as a kid. The internet wasn't a thing. If you like what I do and want to help support this, please comment, subscribe. There's a super thanks if you want to use that. There's donation links if you want to. You don't have to, but just commenting helps. Here's the problem that I have with this representation, diversity stuff. You might not have marine biologists and TV scientists in another decade, so all of this representation and diversity crap might be pointless. We're getting closer and closer to the metaverse being pushed upon us, where you can be whatever you want. You can literally be the star of your own everything. So you don't need other people to look like you. You can just literally be the thing. That's why every single TV show and movie and every bad female character are just self-insert. Put yourself in it. They're just blank slates. Everybody from boring ass girl in Twilight to Mary Ray Palpatine. They're all just self-insert fanfic nobodies. Whiteneck, now a biology professor at Allegheny College in Medville, Pennsylvania, found her way into shark research anyway. Well, how could she? She didn't have any representation. How could she? She's not allowed to because there was never one that looked like her. And Allegheny, well, I'd rather talk about trans Allegheny. Can we bring that one back? I've heard bring back the asylums, not the bad ones like Allegheny, but the good ones. There were no good ones. When the coof and the lockdowns came in 2020, she saw an opportunity to study. The source of her old misconceptions was Shark Week feeding audiences the wrong messages about sharks and who studied them. No. Unless your message is literally go and pet them and give them a giant kiss on the tooth, then no, they're not giving you the wrong messages. Whiteneck led a team of researchers to examine hundreds of Shark Week episodes. That you had to examine hundreds of Shark Week episodes between 1988 and 2020 in a study published last month by the Public Library of Science. Their research claims that Discovery's program emphasized negative messages about sharks, lacked useful messages about shark conservation. Wow. I'm thinking that they're having conversations about sharks. That's how ridiculous this is. About shark conservation, and overwhelmingly featured white men as experts, including several with the same name. How dare they? It's like a TV program just went and recycled the same handful of people over and over again for money. And to save it and that sort of thing. The program featured more white experts and commentators named Mike than women, said David Schiffman, a conservationist at Arizona State University, who was the co-author of the study. These are the type of people who buy shark repellent when they live in Arizona, aren't they? And then they're like, well, there's no sharks here, burp, 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 when there are hundreds of people of color interested who work with this field. And when my field is more than half women, maybe it's not an accident anymore that they're only featuring white men. Maybe none of you are photogenic, camera ready, will work as cheap as those white men. And none of you, maybe you're wasting time figuring out how many of them were white men named Mike and don't know anything about sharks. Maybe that's it. Discovery did not respond to a request for comment on the study's findings. Maybe Discovery thinks it's a ridiculous thing and that only people are gonna waste their time finding out how many white men named Mike are talking about sharks. Maybe we'll take the whole thing again. Maybe Discovery thinks it's a waste of their crapping time to find out how many people are named Mike who are white males who are talking about sharks.
Who is it? Land shark.
Oh, I should be on camera for this one, but I don't know. I look awful. I'm still in my robe practically, or my sweat. Better or worse? Here, we'll do better. It's the facial expressions that you're missing, I think, on this. It's the facial expressions. And fine, we'll use the green screen after all. We have no lighting, though, today. No lighting, no nothing. This is just me rolled out of bed, yelling about sharks. I'm yelling about sharks after rolling out of bed. Discovery did not respond to a request for comment on the study because it's ridiculous. Because it's as ridiculous as I feel rolling out of bed talking about it. Because they're like, seriously, in 2020 when we had real stuff going on, do we really, really care about how many white men are named Mike? I mean, I clicked the article because I can profit off of it. I can yell about it for 10 minutes. The company told NBC Boston it wouldn't comment on the study that has yet to pass any scientific approvals after a preliminary version was presented in 2021. It has since undergone a scientific review. Whitenack said, Shark Week, a 34-year tradition and consistent ratings draw for Discovery, has faced criticism in the past. Scientists and TV critics blasted the event in 2020 for announcing a roster of TV special that featured 6 white men out of 8 named experts. That's because the people I think you want being experts of sharks are out there, you know, down in 8 balls and whatever, and causing a bunch of trouble. Maybe is that who you want as an expert? Possibly, I'm not sure. I do cocaine. Carly Bohannon, a marine Miss Bohannon now, a marine biologist and co-founder of Minorities in Shark Sciences.
I was a marine biologist.
With a name like Bohannon. Praised this study for putting numbers to her and her colleagues' long-standing about diversity. We all grew up seeing a certain type of person on TV. No, we didn't. Because I grew up with stuff like Sesame Street, where half the cast was Hispanic. I grew up with The Cosby Show, where nobody looked like me. I grew up with nobody looked like me on TV. Nobody looked like me on TV. Do you think people look like me on TV? Is this really the hill we're gonna die on? That people are that slighted because they don't have shark experts that look like whoever this person is, this little girl who still went on to be a marine biologist, shark expert. Oh, she doesn't say she's a marine biologist. You still went on, Whitenack, you still went on. Just seeing myself on TV, it was very surreal. So you literally saw yourself. You literally had to see your literal physical self. This article is BS clickbait. There's a reason why this one is the only one that's not behind a paywall. Because the Washington Post is so busy focused on this type of crap instead of things that actually matter to the world. Then this is why society's collapsing. This is why people think that there's this massive failure. And you know what? Maybe they're right. I'm Becca, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!